Welcome to Wake the Dead. Today is a little follow up from the last Wake the Dead extras. That one was about Helena's Kidnapper Revealed. That's the title. And as I posted that, there was a little flurry of activity on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And we got some very good comments from Crypto K and many other. It was just it was great to take a deeper look at the photographs from the toy store. Crypto K brought some attention to the teddy bears and the looming teddy bears at all angles in the toy store. And I made a comment that all the teddy bears disappear once Alice moves in front of the stuffed tigers. And once she's in front of the stuffed tigers, that's when she does her duty and sends Helena off to the cult, never to be seen again. And on the YouTube where I posted that, there was a viewer commented, please do a breakdown about the teddy bears and the tigers. So here we are today. Okay, this one is titled Tigers and Bears. Oh my. So let's get started. All right. Here we have a screenshot of Bill right when he gets home from the ritual. And he looks again at Helena sleeping peacefully in her bed. And he's thanking his lucky stars that he was able to get out of there alive. If you notice, in her window, right in the center of the frame, is a big white teddy bear. Okay. So this here, let's see if the audio is going to play. I have a little YouTube breakdown. Some fine gentleman did a YouTube breakdown of what's a common meme that's called pedo bear. So let's see. All right, oh, it's not going to play the browser audio. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I think we got the browser going. So, here we go. This is Know Your Meme, Pedo Bear from Know Your Meme on YouTube. Okay, let's give this a play.
When thinking about cartoon bears, certain descriptors usually come to one's mind. Cute, cuddly, and adorable, just to name a few. However, thanks to the internet, we can now add one more item to that list: pedophilia. Pedo Bear is a cartoon mascot that became an icon through its usage on 4chan, signaling that illegal child pornography had been posted. As the name suggests, pedo being short for pedophile, it is portrayed as a pedophilic bear. The character known today as Pedo Bear was once known as Kumar, or Kuma, on the Japanese image board 2channel. It originated as an ASCII art image created by Buru-san, its earliest appearance dating back to February of 2003. The character was used simply to signal trolling on the image board. The image evolved into the character we now know as Pedo Bear when it reached 2chan's English counterpart 4chan in 2004. While the origin's backstory is murky, various rumors point to a forum game known as Osaka Phone Threads, in which users create a conversation log by using ASCII characters. In this thread, an anonymous user responded with pedobear and creepy references to lollies, a slang term used to describe hentai manga with underage female characters. From that moment forward, pedobear's taste in women was known, and the internet would not soon forget. Throughout 2004, Pedobear grew famous for his seal of approval towards prepubescent girls and his catchphrase, "Is that some lolly?" While this phrase has faded away, the Pedobear seal of approval has continued to live on. Over time, Pedobear has become the characterization of pedophilia on the web, appearing in a large number of exploitable images and macros. Pedobear has been repeatedly misunderstood by the mainstream media. In the US, in September 2010, the California police issued a warning claiming that Pedobear was a pedophile mascot and mentioned cosplayers from Comic-Con dressed as the bear as being potentially dangerous deviants. Additionally, Pedobear's image has mistakenly made its way into several inappropriate locations. This includes a picture of Vancouver's 2010 Olympic mascots, a column by the conservative political commentator Pat Buchanan, and has even been voted Miley Cyrus's #1 fan in an online poll. In recent years, society has become much more conscious and aware of sexual predators and pedophiles. Shows like Dateline NBC's To Catch a Predator have shed a light on the real and present danger of sexual offenders, and the subject matter has rightfully become a sensitive topic in our culture. Understandably, there are many mixed feelings about Pedobear. Does Pedobear inappropriately make light of serious and dark subject matter? Does it glorify child pornography on the web? Or does the character serve to strengthen awareness of sexual predators and illegal activity online? Let us know your thoughts on Pedobear in the comments below.
Okay, so that was Know Your Meme describing Pedo Bear. So this Rockin' Mishu, hello, I see you in the chat. He asks, but this is after Eyes Wide Shut, right? The whole Pedo Bear meme. Yes, yes it is. And he, yes, we'll get to Danny. Yes, Danny had bears too, and we will talk about The Shining. Uh, it's pretty ruthless. We'll get to it. So, okay. Yes, this was after, and he mentioned he said that the pedo bear pops in and he says, "Is that some lolly?" Okay, so what is he talking about? Lolicon. Okay, lolicon. So this is a slang word for the phrase Lolita complex. Okay, lolicon has its roots in a Stanley Kubrick film titled Lolita, which we're also going to talk about today. So this is going to be fun. All right. So in Japan, their Oriental genius, the word explains uh, shediophilic, Schediaphilic, shediophilic desire for drawings of young or young looking girls. It originated in manga, anime. They are shown in a sexual way, and the word has an origin to Vladimir Nabokov's book Lolita. In the book, a middle aged man, Humbert Humbert, sexually desires a 12-year-old girl. However, to use this origin as the current meaning is not ideal as the word has changed. Okay. But lolly. Hey, is that some lolly? That's what Pedo Bear does when he shows up. Okay. And it was funny that it was shared with Obama and Pat Buchanan and all that shit. So anyway, okay. So that is a common thing here. So this is Danny. Danny from The Shining. Okay. And we know that Danny had this here, room 237. I think it was John Fell Ryan again, was talking about this issue of Playgirl magazine that Jack is reading on his during his interview. Wait, reading Playgirl, and one of the articles is incest: why parents sleep with their children. Okay, so obviously Danny is going through some uh, issues in his life. It's Danny's not having a good time. So his abuse is the reason for his dissociation and his split personality. Uh, his psychic personality is Tony. You know, it's not a separate thing living in his stomach or whatever. It is him, and it's a separate piece of him that feels like it's hidden in his stomach. And if people want to know more about that, they should look into the psychology of trauma-based mind control. Danny he's a victim of trauma, and the split happened by accident. And this is the same mechanism that the satanic cults use to uh, create what Alice is, a uh, monarch programmed mind controlled slave. So that you can learn about. I talked about that in Occult Kubrick and the Butterfly Net, which can be found on Rumble and Odyssey. And I did that like 5 or 6 years ago. But it's out there on the internet. People should see it. Okay. So getting back to this. So there's Danny, and Danny is on a pillow. It's on his bed. He's like, all right. So, and then there's Jack. Okay. Jack with his boss, Playgirl magazine. Okay. Who can forget this moment of The Shining? Everybody remember this? With the furry? This is the first time I've ever seen a furry. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was scary and weird. Okay. Much like what Wendy thinks here. Wendy, obviously, shockingly scary and weird. Okay. But we'll go back to the costumes. Ass is removed for obvious reasons. This is a sexual tryst between homosexuals. And there they are looking at the camera. We all are familiar with this scene. And there's the close up. And we see the gentleman is in his fine clothing, his tuxedo. Tuxedos are also what they specialize at Rainbow Fashions. Okay? So the gentleman not wearing gentleman not wearing a mask is a member of the high class top hat tuxedo wearing folk. Okay? The ones that were in the gold room. Okay, at the fish and goose soiree or whatever, you know, with the advocat incident. Okay, this is the class of people, right? Which is somewhat revealed in a veiled way in Eyes Wide Shut. So everybody can remember that teddy bear scene and what the implications of its its butt exposed and its face in the lap of that guy. And I don't know how that guy, even if he is a homosexual, how does he keep it up while his member is going through that mask. How does that? Think of the psychology. Okay, all right. It's sick, but we're moving on here, people. There's Wendy's reaction again. I just want people to see that because that's what we are all thinking when we first saw that. Her face is so expressive. I love it. Okay, so getting back to Eyes Wide Shut, this is where Bill was looking in at Helena as she was sleeping. This is the scene that he sees, and everybody probably remembers from Room 237. They talked about how the artwork above her bed, this colored painting, and it's the only real color you can see besides the clowns. Clowns. We're not going to talk about clowns. So anyway, this it says the black stripes form the letters of SEX. You know, kind of the way the Disney movies kind of hide sex in the artwork. You know, dildos and the castles and Mickey Mouse like grabbing on junk or whatever. Uh, so there's that. Okay, that everybody knows about. But there's also a little teddy bear that's straddling the post. Okay, there is a little teddy bear that's straddling the like riding the post like it's a phallic symbol, right? It's kind of not very direct, but the post is between its legs. Okay, and let's take a closer look. There we see that bear is wearing a rainbow on its t-shirt. That bear has a rainbow. And if we know about the rest of the movie, rainbow is featured heavily. Okay? If you look, the O of this sign, this is a business called Under the Rainbow, and above is Rainbow Fashion. But under the rainbow, you see the O is a spiral. Okay? And people that remember Pizzagate will remember the symbols. Here we have an FBI unclassified law enforcement document. Federal Bureau of Investigations Intelligence Bulletin, Cyber Division, Innocent Images National Initiative, 31st January 2007. Symbols and logos used by pedophiles to identify sexual preferences. Now, this is right outside a store, on view for everyone to see what goes on in the store. This intelligence bulletin addresses crimes against children, standing intelligence requirements set, contain, blah, blah, blah. Pedophiles, to include those who sexually abuse children as well as those who produce, distribute, and trade child pornography, are using various types of identification logos or symbols to recognize one another and distinguish their sexual preferences. To specifically indicate the pedophile's gender preference, members of pedophilic organizations encourage the use of descriptions such as boy love, girl love, and child love. These symbols have been etched into rings and formed into pendants and have also been found imprinted on coins. The Boy Lover logo, B logo, is a small blue spiral shaped triangle. It's the same as that's the United Nations blue too, guys. Those that are this is the same blue that would save your house if you're in Lahaina, but anyway, it's same blue that's on Oprah Winfrey's roof. But okay, we don't need to get into that. So this is a spiral shaped triangle within a triangle. So it's The small triangle. Okay, I'll go back. Okay. Boy Lover logo is a blue spiral shaped triangle surrounded by a larger triangle, whereby the small triangle represents a small boy, and the larger triangle represents an adult man. One is in front of the other. Okay? And that spiral is significant. Okay? The variation of the B logo is a little boy lover logo, which also embodies a small spiral shaped triangle within a larger one. However, the corners of the little boy logo are rounded to resemble a scribbling of a young child. Images of the B logo and LB logo symbols are depicted below, and we see them on jewelry, stamped on coins. Okay, so the spy, and if anybody remembers the True Detective, the victim had the spiral on her back. Um, okay, so here is Rainbow. Okay, this is the Rainbow Room in Eyes Wide Shut, in the rainbow fashions. This is the back room. Okay, and we can see all the heads. Those are all the wigs are like the different personalities of the female. And we see the mannequin is looking into the room, watching what goes on, right? And so this is right before Milich discovers these guys in there doing sexual act with his daughter. Not his daughter, not his daughter, guys. She is not. She is under his control, I guess. He is her handler, but he is just teaching her the ways. Okay. They are in a glass room where they're locked inside, and the video cameras can videotape everything through the glass till they pay the payment, the blackmail. Okay. This is the blackmail operation of Epstein, of Dennis Hastert, whatever. I mean, of, Franklin scandal, all of it. There it is. Right. You will have to explain to police. Right. And you notice they're Asian again with the Japanese and the lolicon. That was also in Lolita. Lolita had a Tokyo poster on her wall of her bedroom. Okay, moving on. So, back to the bears. This is at the toy store, and people should go and check out Crypto K's post on X talking about what he found. There's lots more bears than this. Oh, gee, the whole place is dripping with bears. Anyway, so she's asking for this big one, and as she's doing that, there's a gentleman behind who's also carrying a bear, and he's got an expensive watch on his wrist and a big ring. So he's got a pinky ring, which just like Xandor Zavost, who shows his ring when he talks to Alice. We'll get to him in a minute, I guess. It's all connected, but anyway, so here we're moving through the store again, and if you look on the wall, there's a bear who's like staring right at the camera. He's almost laughing at us. He's like sticking his tongue out and almost laughing. Let's see if I zoom in. There he is. So that's his the bear just laughing in your face as we have the octagon and the obelisk with the black and white Masonic stuff. And if we go up, we see that there's a Snoopy, I guess, or yeah, maybe it's a Snoopy, but he has the colors of ermine. You can see that there's white with little black flecks in it, kind of like ermine. It's the like a winter weasel, has a little black tip on its tail. Anyway, so here we have the thug who is like following them, and That's actually why I took this screenshot. But we see that there's bears everywhere. Just teddy bears, right? So then we have this one, and there's more teddy bears. And if you see, there's Pooh Bear all the way on the left in the little blue area, and there's teddy bears all up the wall, and there's teddy bears on the other side. And they're looking at the teddy bears, and they're thinking, "Oh, what do you think we should do?" You know. All right, moving on. So there's the thug going down the back of the aisle behind where Helena gets sent, so that when Helena comes around the aisle, she will be met by that thug. That's what the last one was about. But anyway, we have these bears here, and she's thinking, trying to decide, as if her alters are fighting inside whether or not they're going to let her do this next action, right? So she's got, again, just dripping with bears. Bears on the ceiling, bears everywhere. Okay. And now Alice finds the stuffed tigers. This is where it all changes. As I was saying with Crypto K, I mentioned that this is her mark. She's made to stand. She inside her her altar, her cult loyal altar, relates to the predator cat. I know it might sound crazy, but this is a trigger for her altar inside to come up and take control of her body. And it might sound strange. What the hell are you talking about, Sean? Okay, and now she's doing her business. She's pushing away little Helena, and the men, and room 237 talks about those two old guys at the end, the rich guys. She follows them, right? As if those rich guys were the cult. Helena looks back, one last look at Bill. He's not even looking. His eyes are wide shut, right? And here's one last look at Mommy. Mommy's looking. Mommy knows this is the last time she'll ever see her. Bye bye. So, where the rainbow ends. What? What are you talking about where the rainbow ends? Why are you bringing this up? Okay, all right. This is a trigger phrase that these women are using on him, that they expect him to understand what that means, because he's part of the cult, right? He's at this party, right? So they're saying, "Don't you want to go where the rainbow ends?" And this moment, actually, when Bill says where the rainbow ends, is exactly the same time on the timeline as in 2001, the monolith first appears on the screen. That's a little gift for y'all if you want to go look further into that. But anyway, that's where the rainbow ends. Okay, the end. What is this then? Where the rainbow ends. Where the Rainbow Ends is a book written by Clifford Mills in 1912. And we see St. George with his Templar cross. He's a knight. Okay, so the whole Knights of the Golden Fleece, those guys call themselves knights. The Maltese people, the Order Knights of Malta, right? So these chivalric orders have kind of morphed into a new thing, and they have family crests that can be traced their lineage. That's the intent, is to trace their lineage. And there's some heraldic shields hanging on the wall in the ritual room, in the ritual space. Eyes wide shut. So what about these two kids? Well, there's a naval officer. That little boy. What is that? Is that L. Ron Hubbard as a little boy? I don't know. Looks just like him. So, but that's the little boy wants to be a naval officer, and we know that Alice gives herself to the naval officer in Cape Cod, but it comes up as a memory of oh, never happened. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. And what about the young girl? She is clad in red, like the Scarlet Woman. Okay, and what does she have? She's got a pet tiger. Well, it's a lion, I guess, but it's a predatory cat. Okay, and if anybody knows about Inanna or Ishtar, we'll talk about her later. But that woman in red has a pet cat beast. Hmm. So this is Domino, which is also the name of those masks that they wear. Domino. She just happens to be in red, and she's enticing him to her bed for a sexual encounter. And there's that cat, as if her mind becomes as if that cat is there when she does those actions. Much like how that same exact cat is there behind Alice. A whole wall set up right there for Alice to stand in front of, like her mark on a movie set. There's Domino with that same exact cat beast. What's this then? This is Quilty, the elite, rich, pedophile um, playwright. Probably like he was trying to make pornography with Lolita. He brought her to California to make art films in quotes with a bunch of nudists and weirdos. Okay, but what? So Quilty is hiding behind that painting, and portraits go way deep in the Eyes Wide Shut. This Lolita stuff, it goes very deep. So Inanna is accompanied by her chariot is pulled by two uh lionesses, lion cats. And Ishtar, she has tigers. Anyway, it goes on like each one of these different types of mother, Mother Mary type. She probably has a cat beast too. But anyway, like Ishtar, Inanna, Rhea, all of these goddesses are associated with cat beasts, okay? And they ride the beast, right? So that's what is happening. This painting is on top of this tiger skin rug. It's a tiger. Kubrick chose a tiger. The same, this Lolita, these symbols were put in Lolita, and for us to find in Eyes Wide Shut also. Like these movies relate to each other, and they use the same symbolism for the same ideas. Okay, right there is Mystery Babylon. That is the queen goddess of the dark occult. The old religion worships Mother Mary. The Catholic Church is a disguise. But the old religion, they worship the fertility and the sun, and that is Tammuz. and Ishtar. It's Inanna and it's Cybele. It's all of these. It's the same ancient Magna Mater in Rome. It's the same religion, just a different name from their different regions that they came from. Okay, so this cat beast is what. So this is what that is referencing there. So where the rainbow ends is tying this female to the Whore of Babylon, basically. Okay. So now that we've established that's what that's all about, here we have Alice with her glass. She's at the bar and she has her glass on display. Why would she be holding a glass like that? Well, I get into it, but this is the trigger. This is the symbolism that they use to recognize each other and to engage in each other. And for any man to access her whore programming, all they need to do is drink from her glass. And that's exactly what Sandor does. She changes her entire personality. She changes into a bubbly party favor. Okay? And at that party, we saw lots and lots of this 8-pointed star. Kubrick was really laying it on thick that she is the 8-pointed star, which is Inanna Ishtar. Okay, that star is Venus, Lucifer. They're light of the world, like that is Mother Mary. So that is who she embodies when she is at the ritual. Those maidens of Inanna are Inanna in the ritual. They become the goddess when they do their Hyros Gamos sex magic ritual with the king or the powerful priest of the region that controls the fertility and the cycles of nature. Okay, so here we have an image of the Whore of Babylon, and she's riding her cat beast. Let's see if I can get a zoom on that. So there she is, and what is she holding? She's got her cup of abominations. If you want to access her whoreness, she will give it to anybody. All you got to do is drink from her glass. It's funny that they use that as the symbolism at exactly 7 minutes. Okay. So that you see, she's wearing the red, just like the girl on the where the rainbow ends and all that. And in that book, by the way, is where all lost family members can be found. What happens to Helena? She's taken away. Don't you want to go where the rainbow ends? Don't you want to find Helena? Hmm? So, all right. And then Mystery Babylon gets shot in the face. Bang, bang, bang. Take out your aggressions on this evil priestess. And there's Stanley with his true sentiment at their Mystery Babylon. This is what he really thinks. At least I see from my perspective. Who knows what he really thinks? I wish I could talk to the man. It would be wonderful. So that's it. Those are some just some things to think about when we think about the tigers and the bears. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for the live listeners. If there are any questions, shoot them out me quick in the chat because I can see them. Uh, otherwise, I guess check out Wake the Dead. If you've never seen me before or never heard, you just found this video. Wake the Dead is my podcast. And you can find that at onegreatworknetwork.com/Sean hyphen McCann. And thank you, Rockin' Mishu. It was awesome. I'm glad that you thought so. It's fantastic that you're there listening, and I'm so grateful to have your ears and all the ears of everyone else listening. Forever, I was just blathering into nothingness on Facebook, and now I've found my voice here. So anyway, it's been 40 minutes. My goodness. I kind of wanted to make it short. So I guess if there's any more comments, maybe I'll try to answer them later. I always see the comments, even the all the good ones and the bad ones. Um, anyway, God bless you. Thank you all, and keep an eye out for more stuff because I'm always digging and looking. And if you are interested in Kubrick, definitely look at what that on that page on their One Great Work Network page. There is a ton of stuff, and I go deep. I even speak to uh, I see, I bring testimony that what happens in Eyes Wide Shut is real. It's not some imaginary thing, and it's great to be here. Thank you so much, and we love you all. I love you, and we will see you next time.